The final we've all been waiting for.
Oh,
Come
God.
on, man.
A quick one, Annie. What do you see happening?
Liverpool are gonna win. It's gonna be a very low scoring game. The only reason I'm not 100% sure if Liverpool are gonna win is if they set up the same way that Chelsea set up during the FA Cup final. We tend to struggle, and then again, we lost a few players quite early, but then we had a few chances. Could have won the game in regular time. So I see if Ancelotti plays like that, which he might, I think we're going to struggle. But if it's an open game, I feel like that favors Liverpool a little bit more.
Dio, Liverpool are actually the favourites, but history has it that Madrid are actually the kings of Champions League. So what do you see happening, Dio?
We're going for the 14th. So 14th-7,
A quadruple.
Yeah, so it's like we need to get that 14. I feel Real Madrid is going to win because of, they were able to beat PSG, Chelsea, Man City. These are like,
Man
great
City.
club, that we all expect to win the Champions League. So I expect them to win it. And they have the
You're,
record, it's Real Madrid.
yeah, I feel like you're neglecting something very important about those last few games, though.
Okay.
Luck, right?
Not luck. No, 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 no. Not last few games. The last Champions League.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
With,
the players that
Liverpool.
Liverpool have
Yeah.
now were not what we had back then.
Yeah.
Again, Salah was our threat in 2019, and he was out. He was out the first 5 minutes of the game.
But
So,
Salah has not been himself since he went to the African
but
Cup.
this is a final. You can never bet against a goal scorer, and no matter what, even if he doesn't score, the fact that Salah is playing would cause some kind of distraction. He's there. He's a body that needed to be marked. So even if he's not scoring, the fact that he's there is already an advantage anyway. And then the other thing is Gareth Bale hasn't been playing really well. He hasn't even been playing at all. And then you had Ramos in defense the last time around. So I feel like defensively we can do the same thing that PSG did. PSG went at you. Man City went at you. I feel like we are capable of that for sure, especially on the wings. With the not a weak defense, but a less threat defensively. But where the game will be won for Liverpool really will be the press. If you guys do come out and play, we can press. If you guys stay behind, it will be very difficult. The fact that these two teams are meeting again is actually very impressive, and I'm actually very impressed with the way that Madrid went through the rounds. They lost to Sheriff in the group stage.
Yeah.
PSG had them behind. Chelsea almost came back and won it. City were ahead, and then they came back and won it. So I can't fault that. That's a heart of a champion. That's what championships are made of. That's what a team that knows how to win. That's what they're made of. So I applaud them for that. So if they play that same way in the second half against Liverpool all game, I feel like we're gonna edge it. But if they play dogged, let's just make it difficult for Liverpool, and we might struggle, and we might struggle for sure.
Okay, so Annie, what do you think is Liverpool's strength and weakness going into the game?
Strength, the front three, always a strength. No matter who you play there. Mane loves himself a final. We know what he did in the AFCON final. We know what he did in the World Cup qualification final as well. He's always a threat. Diaz is just a live wire. You can't bet against Diaz. It'd be an advantage to have. So I feel like we're going to start with the front three of Mane, Diaz, and Salah. That's our strength. Midfield, hopefully Fabinho is healthy. If Fabinho is healthy, Casemiro would have to play 1v1 against him. He's going to have to hold there. The back four shouldn't change, although I would favor Konate over Matip, but I would take Matip's experience over Konate in the final. So I would keep Matip there. And then the fullbacks pick themselves, Trent and Robbo. They've both been rested the last few games. So I feel like the weaknesses will be Vinicius on the other side against Trent.
Exactly.
But the advantage that we have to that disadvantage is that we don't play 1v1 defense. We don't play, it won't be Vinicius versus Trent for 90 minutes. It'll be Vinicius
Yeah.
versus Trent versus whoever that second midfield is, probably Henderson or Thiago. They will be dropping in to help, which, to cover that wing a little bit. So, but there will be moments where it'll be Vinicius versus Trent, and those moments might hurt us a lot. So that's a disadvantage. And then the biggest disadvantage is if we don't score early, we'll be in trouble. That's the biggest disadvantage. If we score early, set the tone of the game, we'll be okay. But if you don't score early, the longer it goes 0-0, the more we've seen it, the more Real Madrid will grow into the game. And Benzema is always a threat over the top. So strength up front, strength in the fullback's position, weaknesses also in the fullback position. I'm not worried about Robertson. I think Robertson can hold his own. But if they go after Trent, we might struggle.
I also think that's the big thing, Trent.
I'm not saying he's a bad defender. I just feel like
But
with Vinicius'
defensive
speed,
wise, is poor.
it's,
It's
it's
not that
not
good.
bad. It's not. It's, I won't say bad. I would just say that because of the instruction that
Vinicius
he's
is
been
too
given.
fast. So
Yeah,
whether
it's
it
just
take
special. It's special awareness. His special awareness is not his strength, and that doesn't mean he's not a good defender. If he gets his special awareness, meaning you know where your guy is all the time, and you are in a position where you can catch up, or you're in a position where you can actually defend. His special awareness most of the game is always forward minded.
forward,
If he's
yeah.
a little bit, even if he's up front, there's a way you can be aware, like, okay, there's somebody behind me, somebody I need to pay attention to behind me. 10 yards, 5 yards, 15 yards, whatever it is, you need to be aware. It tunes off most of the time, and then by the time he reacts, it's too late. So I wouldn't say is bad. It's just not good enough. Spatial awareness. We've seen him get into 1v1 tackles. We've seen him, chase a guy down and won the ball. That's not bad defending. That's good defending. But when you get caught spatially where we're not aware of what's going on around you, a lot of times a team like Real Madrid and Vinicius will hurt you. So I wouldn't necessarily call him a bad defender. It's just not. It's just not always, and it's because of the
Yeah.
instruction that he gets from the manager. Be forward minded. Be forward minded. If you can be a little bit defensive minded, even if it's up front. Robertson goes up, but Robertson knows when to cover. He knows
Yeah.
how far he needs to go. But I mean, it's the instruction. I won't necessarily call Trent a bad defender.
Dio,
Mhm.
Rodrigo or Valverde? Who would you want to start?
I'm gonna start Valverde because of Salah. Or Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz is as quick as Bini. So I think he's gonna start Valverde. Then Madrid likes to come from the back, grow into the game. So you put in Rodrigo, Camavinga, all those young boys. So yeah, I think he's gonna start Valverde.
Do you think Benzema can be such a threat to Liverpool
Karim the
defender?
dream. My boy Karim the dream. He's gonna score in the final. That one is sure.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's
sure.
gonna score. Yeah,
He's
I'm
coming
so
up
sure.
against Van Dijk and Matip
Van
or
Dijk?
Konate.
Come on, man. Van Dijk is. I know Van Dijk is one of the best defender, but I think Karim has shown it over and over again. Like against PSG, when you have even five at the back against Chelsea, Man City, one of the best team, he scored. So come on, man. Who's Van Dijk? He's gonna stay against Van Dijk as well. So
Okay, I have to object a little bit. I have nothing against B9. BZ is a beast,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
the advantage that we have in that aspect is we don't wait for the striker to come to us. Our defensive line is so high that they have to be in front of us at all times. If not, they'll be offside.
Mhm.
So that's the advantage. If we can keep that line, which has been very successful, no matter what people say about it, we keep. I think there's a 120 something offsides that we've kept successively, and the next one is like 60 something. So
Mm.
we've doubled the amount of time that we've caught teams offside. And one of the things that I see about Benzema, not even his goal scoring, is not his goal scoring. The way he played against PSG and Man City worries me. He drops it into the middle,
Mhm.
connects a few passes, and is gone. We might struggle with that because if it drops in the middle, that means Fabinho has to follow. And as soon as Fabinho follows, um, Camavinga or Vinicius are wide open on the wings, and Benzema can pass the ball. It's not even his goal scoring that I'm worried about. If he can influence the play coming from that middle, we're gonna be in trouble. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're gonna be in trouble. I don't care about his goal scoring. I feel like if he does get a chance, he will score. But I'm not worried about his goal scoring. I'm a striker, so I watch these strikers. I watch how they move. I watch how they play. So I feel like if he can influence the play from the middle, that's why I'm hoping that Fabinho plays. If Fabinho plays, then we won't have to split our center backs. Fabinho will be the one to follow. And if Fabinho follows a little too hard and not drop him off to a Thiago or to a Henderson, and he keeps coming in, then the wings are going to be wide open. And I feel like that's how Real Madrid are going to play. That's how they beat City. If you notice the goal that came in from the wings, it was Benzema that started it. He started from the midfield, made a pass outside. They passed it back to him. He passed it to Vinny. Vinny went down. He was in. They crossed it, and he just put a head in. Easy. Like he influenced the play in the middle. So I'm worried about that. But if they decide to play 1v1 against Van Dijk, I'm sorry, Benzema is going to lose. It doesn't have the speed.
I agree with that. Like, I think that's the strength of Virgil van Dijk. Is good in 1v1 situation, but most of the time, Real Madrid play with transition. Like, they allow you get the ball, and then they get the ball from you, give it to Modric. Before you know it, Vini is running. So that's where I think Van Dijk is going to suffer. Like, because you guys play iron line, most of the time you're already in the middle of the park. So,
right.
And then when they get the ball, immediately they give it to Vini, running, I think that's where Benzema can, just like what you said, like Benzema can, create some chances, from transition play. So I think that would be a very good game, seeing Karim against Van Dijk. So
yeah, they would. I think the both managers would cheat us of that adventure. We won't get to see it.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say we won't get to see it is because it's not gonna make Benzema play Van Dijk 1v1.
Yeah.
Van Dijk is not gonna stick with Benzema 1v1. Van Dijk is gonna leave him. They're all gonna push forward. The only time, again, football is about instances and moments. If you get your moment right, Benzema can go and score. If you get your moment right, Vini can come in and score. If you get your moment right, you can set so many offside traps to where they will be useless. It's all about moments. There will be moments where Van Dijk would have to chase Benzema for sure. I don't think Benzema has the speed, but there'll be moments where he has to chase him. There'll be moments where we have to drop back when you guys have the ball. I don't think we're going to have the ball for 70% of the game. There'll be moments where we'd have to drop back and defend. Those are the moments I'm worried about. Those are the moments where Benzema is more influential. He will be able to see the pitch. But if he's by himself, he's gonna have to hold up Van Dijk, which is a lot of people don't get to do that. So we're gonna get cheated. I want to see that competition. I want to see them going at it, but we're not gonna see that. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of influential play from the middle and the wings a lot. Especially when we have the ball.
Yeah.
Talking about Benzema now, he's always there at the right time. Now, the last Liverpool Madrid final 2018, when Karius made that mistake and Benzema capitalized on it. And now we know Alisson. Alisson is a very great keeper, but sometimes you must admit he makes such mistakes. So, do you see Alisson making any of such mistakes in the final?
No, not at that stage. Not at that stage. And the reason why I say not at that stage is because everybody in that locker room would have watched that final at least 10 times now. They would have seen it. They would have been drilled into their heads. You cannot make that kind of mistake. The only time that I see us getting in trouble is if we try to play out of the back. With the speed of Vinicius, if they press. If they don't press, we'll be fine. If if Real Madrid decide to press, we are going to be in trouble because Vini is fast, Camavinga is fast. I have a feeling that Camavinga is going to start because
I don't think Camavinga is going to start. Come on, like with Modric, Cruz, Casemiro, that's the best midfield. So
yeah, definitely those three midfielders you mentioned are the one they're going to play.
Yeah, I think that's the strength of Madrid. Most of the time, they start with this, these three midfielders. As the game goes ahead, then they put Camavinga because of the strength, because of the power. Most of the opponent is already tired. So Camavinga comes in, Rodrigo comes in. They give so much energy, and they can out the opponent. So that's what's gonna happen.
But Liverpool don't get
Okay.
tired though. Energy will match energy. Liverpool
Well,
don't get
it's
tired.
been a long season for Liverpool.
That might be a disadvantage. That's true. I feel like the long season that we've had is going
Yeah,
to
you
eventually
guys play
tell.
like almost
And it's
65
been
games.
telling. It's been telling for the past 3 weeks. Actually, we go down behind.
Yeah,
We concede early, and then we'd have to come back and fight.
yeah.
And Van Dijk has rested. Salah has rested. Fabinho hopefully will be healthy. And aside from that, there are no injury concerns. Diaz is a threat. We all know that. Jota can come in and do something. The only concern that I have, which I'm hoping that Ancelotti wants this. I mean, of course, I'm sure he wants to revenge the AC Milan loss as well. The last time we played him in the final, it was the 2005 game, the Gerrard game. The 2005 one hurt because even till today, he was saying, "How do you lose a 3-0
Yeah,
advantage?"
3-0 down. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can't come back. You have to make that right. So I'm hoping that he decides to play open football. Let's just go at it and play football. But knowing Ancelotti, I've watched him play in the Premier League. Well, I'm managing the Premier League a lot. I watched him at Bayern. When it comes to games like that, he's a little bit more reserved. Is a little more reserved. So that might be trouble. And to be honest, that's the only trouble that I feel like we're gonna face against Real Madrid. If those three people are healthy and good to go, Fabinho, Van Dijk, and Salah, I feel like we can handle that midfield a little bit more. Kroos is getting up there in age. He's not the same Kroos that we knew a couple of years ago. Modric is a threat, but again, we don't play individual 1v1 across the park. We will press you to get the ball back, and once we get the ball back, everybody opens up the field. So, and if you look at the game we played in the quarterfinals last year, we had Rhys Williams and Nathaniel Phillips as our center backs, and the game ended 1-1. This time around, we're gonna have Van Dijk and either Konate or Matip miles better than the option we had 2 years ago. Vinicius played that game, Benzema played that game, Modric played that game, Kroos played that game. Salah wasn't healthy. Fabinho didn't play that game. So I feel like the advantage that we have is a fully fit squad. Without a fully fit squad, I feel like we're going to be at a disadvantage. The advantage that Madrid had in the last time we played in the quarterfinals last year, we didn't have a full fit squad. Everybody was injured. I didn't even think Anderson played that game. And Thiago came in the second half after the game was already 1-0 for Keita. So, and I feel like it's going to be a completely different game. And that's advantage Liverpool because you don't know what you're going to get. With Real Madrid, I think we already know what we're going to get. They're going to be dogged in defense. They're going to play through the wings, and they're going to feed Benzema as much as possible. But with Liverpool, you don't even know who's going to start. So I feel like that's an advantage. The teams are completely different from last year when we played in the quarterfinals. It'll be close, but I feel like the people that we have healthy this time around will be the difference for sure.
We all know Liverpool actually on a revenge mission, especially Mo Salah.
I think it's Mo
So
Salah
I don't think that's going to affect the game. If Mo Salah plays, he will want to so that's a disadvantage for me. What do you think?
But Sergio Ramos is not playing, so why is he on the
It doesn't mean. I know
it's
Salah. I know want to get back.
Real Madrid are out him. It was Sergio Ramos that out him.
Yeah, but he plays for Real Madrid. He played for Real Madrid.
Play for Real Madrid. So.
Yeah, he played for Real Madrid. I feel like he's just trying to ginger himself. I don't see it as a revenge mission at all.
But to be honest, I've not seen Salah being the first half of the season. It was so good, yeah. But after the Africa Cup of Nations, I've not seen Salah, being at his best. So I don't know why everybody still keep talking about. Even Sadio Mane is like he has been so good. I feel Sadio Mane is more of a threat than Salah. Salah has not been playing well. I'm sorry,
but I think you're making a mistake. I think you're making a mistake of judging every game by future games. It's every game is different for an attacker. Every game, you can't think about what happened last week or 2 weeks ago as an attacker. The difference in mentality with Mane being on top right now and Salah kind of pushing his way through. Different in mentality is the pressure. There is zero pressure on Mane. Zero. He can enjoy his football. He can actually enjoy his football now. He's in the World Cup. Even if he doesn't win Champions League, oh well, he's going to the World Cup. There's no pressure. He's already got a trophy. He's got an AFCON trophy. There is zero pressure. But Salah, if he doesn't win the Champions League or if he doesn't win the Premier League, his influence in what football is going to start going down. The pressure is there. He doesn't have any trophy. There's pressure there. He hasn't been scoring a lot. There's pressure there. And when you have that kind of mentality where you feel like everything is on you, you tend to overdo. And which is what we've been seeing with Salah the last couple of games. He tends to overdo. That extra dribble, that extra unnecessary shot, that extra, cut or that extra run. Sometimes all you have to do is just relax and let the game come to you. And the advantage that we have there is he hasn't played the last couple of games. And we have a manager that's a very good man manager. I feel like he will tell him, like, look, this is a final. This is not about a revenge mission. I don't see it as a revenge mission. This is about the team winning a trophy. And if it comes down to that, I'm betting on it that we're going to see a different Salah.
I hope so.
Oh, you hope I'm wrong? You hope I'm wrong?
I hope
because if I'm right, that's trouble for Real Madrid.
I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is, Mane. There were times when Mane was very terrible.
Yeah,
Mane was
Mane. Yeah, he was so terrible.
Yeah. I won't say he was terrible. Where he actually started off the first half of the season better than he did last season. Last season was a very off season for Mane. He even said it like he has never had a season like that before.
Yeah.
And then he started this season. They were both assisting each other. They were goal scoring, and then AFCON happened. He's on a high. Salah is on a kind of like a low. And for a striker, all they need to see is the ball going inside the net. So recent form for strikers, I don't bank on it because a ball could bounce his way. A lucky ball could bounce his way, and he scores the winning goal for the Champions League final. Who would remember all the recent form he had? Nobody will remember at that moment. Yeah. What everybody remember was Salah scored the winning goal in the Champions League, and then all of a sudden Salah, this all over again. So recent form, I'll admit, he hasn't been strong, but he hasn't been playing bad either.
Yeah, I know.
It just seems to be overdoing, trying to be the man. And at this point in the season, you can't afford that.
Who are you going to allow to take the penalty if the game goes to the penalty? Are you going to allow Mane or Salah to take the last penalty?
The last penalty, Salah. I mean, record shows it. Record shows it. But I'm worried. If this game goes to final, I'm worried. I'm worried because we haven't played a goalkeeper like Courtois in ever.
Yeah.
There are no Premier League goalkeepers like Courtois. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah.
He's big. Yeah. He's intimidating. Yeah. I feel like that would be an advantage to Madrid if this game goes to penalties.
On a final note, what's your prediction, the scores for the game?
3-1 Liverpool. Jota, Salah, and Diaz.
Okay,
and I'll give Benzema one.
You don't see Vinicius scoring?
No. I don't see Vinicius scoring. I hope Vinicius has the kind of game that he had against City. He wasn't really that influential in goal scoring, but he was very influential coming down the wing. And the reason why was because Fernandinho was the one defending him. I think we're going to be a little bit stronger in the back than City were. City don't really have... I don't trust their defense when you go at them. But when you give them time to do things, they are excellent individually. But when you go at them, they will mess up. And that's the advantage that we have over City defensively. So the game will be won in the midfield. I'm worried about Cruz. I'm worried about Casemiro. And I'm worried about Modric. Aside from that, I have no worries at all. So 3-1 Liverpool.
Okay, Daya, what's the prediction?
2-1 until the 80th minute, and it's gonna be 2-2. So it goes to extra time, and then Madrid will win the game.
Okay, so
another heart attack prediction. I've played enough extra time games, man. That's enough.
So which players do you see scoring? Benzema.
No, Cruz. I think Cruz.
Free kick.
Rodrigo will equalize, make it 2-2.
And for Liverpool,
For
and for
Liverpool,
Liverpool,
Luis
Salah.
Diaz, no, not Salah. Luis Diaz and Sadio Mane. I think Salah is going to overdo himself, just like what Eddie said.
I think it's going to. I definitely think it's going to try and do more.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that at this point, with so much time between games, he's rested mentally, he's rested physically. Again, he will always be a threat, even without the goals.
Yeah, I know he's actually going to give his best, but I just hope he's not selfish for that game particularly.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a good point. He's a selfish player. Yeah.
I disagree. I disagree completely with the whole Salah is selfish notion. I disagree.
No, he's a selfish player, man.
You can't have 60 assists and be a selfish player. It's just not possible. In all competition, he has 60 assists. Like I have if I can send it to you, I have a 5-minute clip of him passing the ball and our strikers are missing goals. Like mad amount of goals. Mane was the one that had 70% of the time when Salah passed the ball to Mane, he missed it. Firmino was the next culprit. So, and then when you have that in the back of your mind, sometimes there's some passes that you won't pass. We're all soccer players. We know this. Again, I'm a striker. If I have a strike partner that every time I pass him the ball is missing it, I'm going to try and do it by myself. And those instances when I try to do by myself or when Salah tries to do it by himself, that's what we see and call it selfish. But we don't see the times that he has done the passes and goals are being missed. And again, 60 assists in all competition in 4 years is better than most midfielders. We as fans, we tend to see again, like I said, football is about moments. There are moments when he should have passed, for sure. When I look at him like, man, bro, you should have passed the ball there. I move on because I'm not Salah. I don't know what he saw. I don't know what's in his mind. But we see that and say, oh, Salah is selfish. But when he does pass the ball and we miss the goal, we don't see where the pass come from. We see the person that missed the goal, right? So as fans, we tend to be more judgmental about this kind of situation. And the numbers just don't lie. 60 assists for a winger that's scoring almost 200 and something goals, all comps, that's not selfish. That's a balanced player right there. Moments. Football is all about moments. That's the only thing that kills him in moments where he should have passed where he doesn't, where a player was wide open and he doesn't pass. Those moments compared to the time that he does pass and we miss the goals is very slim compared to the bigger picture.
So who do you think is gonna win? Lady Vieira.
Okay, my prediction for Madrid Liverpool.
Yes.
Okay. As a neutral fan that I am.
Come on, man.
I see Liverpool winning actually, but I know it's going to be very tough. But Liverpool is winning the Champions League. It's coming to Anfield.
It's gonna be tough for sure, but I definitely see Liverpool winning it as well.
Sorry, I'm actually with Annie on this one. So
good luck to Real Madrid and good luck to Liverpool.
Exactly, and good luck to both teams and let the best team win. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And let's see how it goes.
Nice to meet you, Annie.
Yeah, nice to meet you, D. You guys have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye. Yeah.